we're proud to have with us the Army's very first agony aunt, who bears an uncanny resemblance to Spike Milligan.
Hello, and stand at ease, but do be careful when you do it. I'm Sergeant Prunella Plunger-Bailey. Your agony aunt, a sort of Claire Rayner with bigger ones. So if any rough NCO orders you to bare your buttocks and plays God Save the Queen with the sink pump on your bum, I want you to tell me all about it again and again and again. Now to your letters. The first one is from a Private Dickinson. And he's... And... What? And he... Steady now, steady now. And he says...
Dear Prunella, my sergeant is a cruel sadist. I think he's got it in for me. What should I do?
Well, if he got it in, you should tell him to try and get it out again. Next one is from Private Massage. Oh. And of the Queens. Oh. And he says...
I am a troubled soldier. I did not realize when I joined the army I would be killing people. This week I have killed 4. What should I do?
You must leave the Army Catering Corps at once. And now here's one from a corporal in the Welsh Guards. He says,
Dear Prunella, our captain is an upper-class twit. He won't go to sleep unless he gets a kiss and a cuddle from Nanny.
Oh, no, no. He must leave the regimental goat alone. and sell his gumboots. Now, steady now. Now, here is one from Private Noel Darling, and he says,
my captain says if I'll spend a weekend with him in Brighton, he'll make me a lance corporal. Is this all right?
No, it's not. It's an outrage. He should make you at least a sergeant. Now, finally, from Private Dick O'Pake of the Irish Fusiliers. And he says,
Dear Prunella there, last week I was getting drunk and I slept with the colonel's wife. Did I do wrong?
Good God, man, can't you remember? So anyway, soldiers, do remember, if any wicked sergeant tries to do anything naughty with a broom handle covered in Vaseline, or should put boot polish on your willy, do tell Mummy and I'll come and kiss it all better. Just for that.
Thanks to Spike Milligan. Mrs. Thatcher announced this week that she had decided personally to sort out the National Health Service. We understand that one of her first acts was to commission a new musical from Andrew Lloyd Webber following his triumph in New York this week. Phantom of the Operating Theatre. The story of a hospital doctor played by Michael Crawford, who has to wear a mask to cover the wart he's been waiting for years to have an operation for. Here we see him with the director of his new production. Here's what the reviews said.
A cheap, low-budget production. This show needs millions to put it right.
But the cast of nurses and doctors is striking.
From the team that gave you Cuts, now comes this heartbreaking production presented by the National Health Service in association with the really useless government. The excuses, set to music, are available on cassette and slipped compacted disc. Coming soon to a hospital nowhere near you. And hurry, the queues are getting longer every day. Sex and violence on TV. Will the debate never end? This week, yet another report said that British television is too violent. What I find confusing is that it's always sex and violence. Sex and violence, as if you can never have one without the other, which is strange. I mean, kids are growing up thinking that the two are inseparable. You know, oh, I'm not going to have sex ever, because if I do, she'll mug me afterwards. Raiders will break into a bank shouting, "OK, drop 'em! Everybody have sex, and we can cost the cashier and take the money." Should we have more censorship? Are things getting worse? Well, I've been looking up a few things, and it's very interesting. For instance, according to a recent report, there is now less violence on television than in 1971. A surprising fact that some of you may want to challenge. And if you do, you can just come down here and get a bloody dandruff salad, all right? I'm sorry, I think. The report studied over 2,000 programmes in 1 week and came up with the fact that someone gets violently hurt on TV every 36 minutes. And he's getting pretty fed up with it. I say he because victims of violence tend to be male. The actual breakdown was 71% male victims and 8% female. Right, the rest were of indeterminate sex. What they're actually talking about, of course, is cartoons. Apparently Bugs Bunny is a bit indeterminate. In the 7 days covered by the report, films on TV accounted for a staggering 41% of the violence. Must have been the week they didn't show Neighbours. There's a move afoot to clean up TV films. Later this year, we'll be seeing Clint Eastwood in Slightly Grubby Harry, Max von Sydow as the priest in The Exorcyclist, and at Christmas, you'll be seeing the Texas Jigsaw Massacre. When Channel 4 introduced the red triangle in the corner of your screens to warn you of the dodgy content, the audience viewing figures went up as much as 5 times. We'll see if it works for us, all right? In my research for this piece, I came across a booklet issued by the BBC in 1948 giving instructions to comedy producers on what they could or couldn't use on programmes at that time. If you were telling gags, you couldn't use certain subjects like lavatories, fig leaves, or animal habits. For example, rabbits. See, they knew about Bugs Bunny then, you know. Another weird example said that you couldn't mention any prenatal influences like her mother was scared by a donkey. Beyond me. And the final paragraph says MPs are not allowed on the radio unless the programme is dignified. Well, that would rule out Prime Minister's Question Time now, wouldn't it? In 1986, MP Gerald Howarth tried to get through an amendment to limit the Obscene Publications Act. It had the unfortunate title of a Private Member's Bill. It never made it. What is obscene anyway? I mean, it depends on your viewpoint. Obscene could be anything from the current state of the National Health Service to Lord Longford posing nude, except for his Release Myra Hindley t-shirt. You can say the most innocent things and get caught out. You know, for instance, my budgie was playing in his cage last night and spilled his seed. It's innocent, but the beeb won't let you say it. In the depressed old days, one of the most popular shops in the high street was a pawnbroker. It still is, only now it's called a newsagent. Pawnbroker, you... I can wait, come on. Hey, when I was young, all you ever saw about what might be called porn was Health and Efficiency. It was a magazine with sort of nubile young women posing with strategically placed sports goods in the right places, you know. First time I saw a naked woman, I was amazed she didn't have a huge beach ball growing between her legs. Of course, the latest addition to the sleaze market is the availability of soft porn phone calls. In the pages of so-called family newspapers, you'll find adverts enticing you to phone I Love It Lucinda, or Maureen, the mammary monster, where you think you're in for 5 minutes of dribbling down your Macintosh. This is really porn for the idle, isn't it? It's for people who are too lazy to read, or more likely people who can't make out the print anymore, you know. Actually, it's said that self-abuse stunts your growth. I mean, it can't do, or else why would they put the porn magazines on the top shelf? Anyway, back to the phone calls. Now, it's easy to blame, you know, British Telecom for these calls. People say, why do British Telecom allow it? But since privatisation, they have to. They can't refuse to hire out lines unless the messages are offensive or obscene. And I found one of these recorded messages, purely for research purposes, of course. What? And frankly, it's a con. I mean, the one I called was French maid tells all, right? It's right. You dial the number, and at 38p a minute, you spend £1.14 to listen to 2 adverts for a video club. And another number to phone if you want something a bit more naughty. So you phone that number and get some sort of pea-brain woman going on about rampant roaring and trying to sound sexy, you know. I mean, there's a few oohs, a few sounds like she's cooking pot noodle. She reaches a crescendo of moans and screeches, and it's obvious she's spilt the pot noodle down her throat. The aggravating thing about all this nonsense is that when you dial these numbers, you get straight through to the people. I mean, straight away, no problem. Obviously, what British Telecom have to do is put Maureen the mammary monster in charge of directory inquiry. Yeah. Mind you, knowing British Telecom, the number will be sex directory.
Ego Productions present Legends in Their Own Minds. This week, Dickie Branston, man of power, destiny, and creator of the Randy Empire. Dickie displayed phenomenal entrepreneurial skill from an early age. He sold his rusks to the fat baby next door, his pram to Dodson's Motors, the family house to Tesco's, and sold his mother to Christian Barnard. His first venture was a phenomenal success, Randy Records. From the success of his first artist, Mike Oldfield, with his sensational album Tubular Socks, he went on with Vulture Club, starring Boy Sexual, and Brian Furry with Poxy Music. Randy Records led to Randy Record Shops and special Randy assistants. In 1984, he set up the ultimate in brand image, Randy Airlines, and every stewardess was a virgin.
Hi, I'm Randy. Fly me.
Dissatisfied with his mega money earnings, he now craved to be the fastest man across the Atlantic in a condom. He set out from Newfoundland and was only minutes away from the climax when he had to withdraw and resort to premature ejection. Despite this flaccid performance, he went on to achieve his ultimate aim, respectability. He realized that with the millions and millions of throwaway record sleeves, airline tickets, and failed balloons, that there was room for a new cabinet post. And so, we salute the Right Honourable Dickie Branston, Minister for Randy Litter.